Hey, we are live at Click Connect, special Friday night audit. Stay tuned. Craig Sullivan, you have got the most amazing shirt I've ever seen in my life. What is that all about?
Hey, that's promoting our other show, 3 Minute Thursday.
Holy shit, dude. What have we done? The mistakes that we're making right now, unbelievable.
We're going to haunt us for years. Are you kidding me?
So, Greg, every week we mess around and I'm like, I'm confused. I don't know where I am. I literally woke up this morning and was like, huh? What city am I in this morning? And I had no clue what day of the week it is. So genuinely, from the bottom of my heart.
I'll tell you where you are. You're in Atlantis right now.
Craig, in Atlantis, what time is it?
It's time for you to get your Trident and a Friday night audit. Gotta love that opening.
What?
Gotta love that opening.
Yeah, for sure. All right, here we go. I am so tired today, so I'm going to be completely overcompensating. Good to see everybody. You are watching the one and only Friday Night Audit. I am Glenn Hausman. That is Ahoa Craig, and I don't know what's going on out there. The weather is absolutely crazy. Now, I like to take evening walks every night, right? And my neighbor, like 5 houses down the road, great guy, his name's Noah, and he's been out in his backyard doing a whole lot of work lately. And I didn't know what was going on, right? But this morning, I saw 2 elephants walking down the street, and 2 giraffes, and I'm starting to become suspicious that something up. And then an hour ago, I get this state of emergency that New York City is flooding really bad. And we've had more rain this month than since any month since like 1887. How crazy is that?
That's nuts. But the real question is, how long can you tread water?
Hopefully long enough.
I mean, I'm just going to say this, but over here in Jersey, it hasn't rained that much at all. It's been pretty much a regular rainstorm. There's been not much flooding around me. So, another check mark for not being on Long Island.
You got an adorable baby with you.
I know. Looking at the baby, like you can tell it's a baby because it's looking up at you lovingly. It doesn't know any better yet.
I found him on the street. I figured he needed a little help. So kind of like stray dog.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm Daddy Daycare Dave today because my wife decided that this show was not important enough for her to miss out with some time with her friends. So she said to me, "I'm going out after work. You're taking care of the kids." And so now I'm here.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Well, I love that we have 2 special guests today. One is, of course, baby Glenn Craig over there, otherwise known as Coop. I don't know why, but we're sticking with baby Glenn Craig for a while. But Dave, who else we got tonight?
Well, we have another person who's floating along the LIE out there. He has decided to make his docile also in Long Island, which means he's a complete loser like somebody else I know. His name is Haroon, and he got dropped out there.
Nope.
Hey.
Hold on.
I should know better.
Woo! Haroon,
I have to come up for some air.
What exit are you at here on Long Island?
I'm on 28 on the Southern State.
Oh, all right. Okay. So we're pretty far from each other. I'm all the way down in Smithtown, and I know the audience really cares right now, but being that I'm actually floating somewhere off Bayshore right now because of this storm, what are you going to do?
How big of a boat would you guys need to get to each other's house right now going down the Southern State Parkway?
I mean, it could be a little dinghy, just going about maybe 15 knots. I should get to him,
So we're bringing Dave with us?
Yeah,
you can't bring a boat here because I'm not underwater.
Little dinghy. God damn it.
Haroon is the former accounting person. What was your official title? I think you were the director of finance because they wanted to cheap out on you. I guess you were the accounting manager.
I guess I was the assistant controller. Yeah, assistant controller.
No, that's the
but
assistant to the controller.
he was the assistant controller, but there was no actual controller on property. So he was
Sorry,
the
little
person
office
who-
joke. Does nobody get that?
I got
Yes,
it.
I got it.
Got it.
All right.
We were all ignoring it.
Yeah, well,
there's a lot of
one thing.
competition.
Hold on, Dave. One thing I can't ignore.
Yeah.
It's Friday. Is this? Now I'll just open a drink and I won't have to talk the rest of the show. Please continue, Dave.
So there's a lot to talk about here, and here's our old general manager Suk-Hyun Lee joining us.
Hey,
from
Paul.
from the Peanut Gallery, and Paul, you know him very well, or Glenn, you know Paul very well.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a lot of stories we could talk about here with Haroon because Haroon and I got locked into an eternal battle that had a corporate fight all the way up to the VPs of the company that we worked for, which we can discuss. Haroon is the reason that COVID hit us as hard as it did.
How did I know you?
Thanks. Thanks.
You
I
knew
knew you
that
should
was
have taken that
coming.
trip to China. What were you doing, dude?
You knew that was coming.
Shuts down the global economy. That's pretty impressive.
So basically Haroon got
For an
all
assistant
three people
controller,
here.
absolutely.
One, two, and down there three got all of us fired because he caused COVID. So we're going to dive into that story. We're going to talk about budget seasons and all the work we've done at 12:30 in the morning to do several revisions to get back to we have a lot to talk about today with Haroon.
This is fantastic because I'm wiped out and I did not plan one thing. So it's great to see that you're producing, Dave. This is great.
I know, with baby in tow.
Yeah.
So Paul's saying it's so true. See, so there it is. You guys see it right there. Haroon caused COVID. So let me set the story.
Don't believe the lies.
Let me set the story for you guys.
Listen,
So again,
he is fake news, guys. He is fake news. But
Haroon is a
Oh,
very
that's
big,
where he's going to work.
Haroon is a very big Trump
He does
supporter.
have a son named Fox.
Ah.
see?
Haroon is a very big Trump supporter, if you guys didn't know that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're working together. I'm director of revenue, Haroon's accounting, and Paul's the GM. And the way that this company that we worked for at the time did bonus for my position, it was quarterly. So we had an amazing January, an amazing February. We were up by about 150K to budget on the year. And Haroon and I did the math. And basically, from what we had on the books for March, if we did not pick up a single dollar, I still would have made my bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Haroon goes, in February,
Right.
what are you going to do with the money, your bonus money, once you get the bonus? And I said, I don't know because I'm not going to touch it yet. You don't touch the money until you get the money. And Haroon legitimately goes, it would take a crazy world-stopping type situation for you to not get your bonus. 3 days later, mind you, we started losing $100,000 a day in group revenue.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Thank you, everybody out there that has suffered for the last 2.5 years, 3 years, whatever it's been.
I've been suffering for like 5 years
This
now.
guy
That
right here, all of your pain and suffering.
3 weeks
all of your
after that
furloughs.
statement, David was being laid off.
I was furloughed. Thank you very much. First,
Hey, just like everyone in the government on Sunday.
Paul,
There you
yes,
go.
no,
Yeah,
Paul fired me
exactly.
twice. It's fine.
No flying next week, Glenn.
They're not going to stop.
No,
Don't
but
I think
they
air traffic controllers have to work
2019
pay,
they'll
right?
start calling in sick again if it goes too long.
Yeah, well, fortunately, my flight is on Monday.
How was lodging?
Lodging was great. Harry and Liz and the entire team just raised the bar again this year. They had Glenn's panel, Bruce, our good friend Bruce Ford had a panel, and it was good. I very impressed with everything that they've done. It just keeps getting better every year, and I'm still one of 17 people with 5 stars, and Glenn is not one of them. But Bruce
What is
Ford.
five
You-
stars?
hold on one
Let's put it with
second.
5 stars in.
Did you call for an audit? Did you?
No, I
Okay.
don't have. I'm not going to get 5 stars. There's no way. I know it is time for an audit. We should do that live on this show with me sitting down with Harry and Liz to go over the last 20 years of documents and attendance records. But I had 19 this year, so I'll be 4 stars next year. So I'm very excited about that.
There you go.
Yeah, and
So
I'm so out of it. Did we clearly explain the star system to people, or
You didn't
know-
know. Explain it.
Oh.
Well, I love how Craig had to preface who Bruce Ford is. Our good friend Bruce Ford, like anybody who watches this show doesn't know who Bruce Ford is at this point.
Well, they should, but you never know.
Yeah.
You could have a new viewer in. It's kind of like watching Ahsoka. If you didn't watch Clone Wars and Rebels, you may not know who she is.
You've got to. That's why you've got to say that, though, these kinds of these things. All right, I'm going to go back to Kim's comment. Kim, I think Ed from Delta heard your recent Delta.
Yeah, yay!
Funny enough, I was on 3 planes from the time they made that announcement before he made some comments yesterday, I believe it was. So each time I was on a plane, they're like, "How are you?" I said, I was feeling much better when I thought Delta cared about my loyalty, and your CEO didn't think of me as just a dollar sign. But I love you guys. Thanks for everything.
What were the comments you said yesterday? I must have missed it.
He's heard from people, and perhaps they went a little too far. So they're going to reevaluate some things and have an update in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I think they're picketing at his house.
Meanwhile, I'm sure you got the message, you got the email saying that your loyalty means a lot to us.
This is what I love about PR, and Disney is masters of it. For example, where they bend you over and they fuck you and they tell you why it's better for you, and they do it. It's masterfully. We thank you for your loyalty. To make sure you're appreciated, we're going to take away everything you love from our company to make sure that we could better serve you.
Mouse of house. Now, Haroon, we were talking right into lodging. Give us a kind of an idea of what you're currently doing. Obviously, you have an accounting background. But why
He's an IRS agent.
Why did you let my hotel get shut down?
Hey, Nikki, happy Friday.
Listen, man, it was all part of the plan. Just I wanted to spend one-on-one time with Paul. That was really it. No, it was, the way things just worked. It was just very unfortunate. We really tried to bring everybody back, as you know. It just didn't work out.
They say that, except when the fact that they bought themselves new Surface Pro tablets during COVID. Remember that one, Haroon?
That was not during COVID. That was way before COVID.
They just got delivered during COVID. You
hear that,
cancel
Paul?
that order.
I got furloughed. I came back and there was new Surface Pro tablets on the tables. What the hell? Where'd that come from?
Those were 2019 purchases.
They're just ahead with the supply chain delays, exactly, so it took a while to get there.
That's a little funny money accounting right there. So let me ask you guys a question. And Craig, this might be more in your line from an operational hotel standpoint. Paul's chiming in. He refuses to talk about it. He knows I'm talking about it.
I refuse.
He allegedly bought them 5 days before COVID. He had the timing down perfectly. So, Craig, you have an accounting. You do operations, right? Obviously, you have the GAP principles of accounting, or GAP principles in general, but then you have the hotel associate or hotel principles as well. If somebody cancels a reservation day of arrival, where does that revenue go?
Hello.
Oh, I think we lost Craig.
Hello.
There's Craig.
Sorta. Yeah. That's interesting. Haroon, how do you see it?
So, cancellations are considered
I can't wait.
Other income. They're considered other income. No shows.
I would think that they would be considered no income.
Yeah.
No, they would be considered other income, but they're not part of room revenue. They wouldn't be considered part of room revenue.
So you're saying you don't share that with the brand?
Correct.
Yeah,
there is.
You're gonna get audited now.
So the reason we're talking about this lame story for a second is because Haroon and I caused about a 4-month fight within our company at the time.
Yeah,
that went all the way up to the VPs of the company, who I watched fight it out after 4 months in front of me.
You had VP of Revenue Management on one side and VP of Accounting on the other, and the two of us, we're just like
nobodies.
Yeah, we're like little minnows watching sharks.
Stir in the pot.
So here's how it ended up happening. Paul said leave it in the guest ledger until the guest disputes, and the hotel ends up losing the chargeback anyway. But so Haroon and I are discussing no-show revenue versus cancellation, because no-show revenue impacts my star report and impacts my numbers positively. Cancellation revenue does not. And I'm, so from the revenue management side, it was like, I want this no-show revenue. It's the same day. Just because they canceled the same day, it's not cancellation. And Haroon was saying it is. And we were going back and forth. So, okay, fine. We take it up to our kind of next level people, which is kind of like the area people, you want to call it, whatever they are, kind of next level. So they start getting into discussion. We have a call just like this on a Zoom, 4 of us, and it's Haroon and his person where Glenn is, and me and my person where Craig is, and we're going back and forth. And now they start going at it because they're having the same argument.
Yeah.
Okay. They take it to the next level, and they start arguing on a call of 6 now.
Right.
Back and forth. We're not even done. They now take it to the VP of revenue and the VP of accounting.
Right.
And they start arguing. So they have their conversations off screen. We're not part of those conversations.
Of course.
We're not privy to those. So we're in a conference in a major city on the East Coast. And Haroon's there, I'm there. Everybody's involved.
Here he comes.
And we're getting lunch. And I see it at the table, the VP of revenue.
Wait. Yeah, before that, tell them how we were called over.
Oh, no, I'm going to get there. So I walk in from lunch. It's the VP of revenue, the VP of accounting, and then some of the other middle-level people we just talked about. And this is what I see as I bring my plate from the banquet space.
Right.
No words, just this. From the VP of one of the VPs. I'm like, okay. So I walk over there. Haroon I get Haroon, he's coming with me. And we sit down, and they're like, sit here, please. And we sit down and start to eat. And the my VP of revenue goes,
yeah.
Okay, so now that we've had months of discussions on this no-show versus cancellation revenue thing. Are you clear with what the process is? I'm like, I think so, but can we go over it? And she goes, if they cancel the same day, it's very simple. You now know what to do. There's nothing to change. Just do this moving forward. It's charged as a no-show. And I see the VP of accounting's head whip around like breakneck speed, like, no, it's not. So now me and her at this table after months of us stirring the pot, and these two are still going back and forth at it. And me and her were just there like, what do we do? And so eventually one of the mid-level guys was like, okay, you guys can go now. And they're still trying to hash it out. We finally did get the answer like another week and a half later. Revenue did lose the battle, unfortunately. Accounting did triumph, and it did go to cancellation. But the idea that me and Haroon, these two mid-level nobodies.
Look at Haroon trying to not look smug. That's amazing.
Yeah. See, the beard hides it. That's why you always grow a beard.
Me and Haroon, these little nobodies in this company who had barely been there for not even a year yet, Haroon, that we caused so much shit within the company about this one little thing. Because don't get me, listen, we're talking about our hotel. But this impacted how the company did it as a whole.
Yeah.
There was a whole revamp of how the company was processing these, that they had to send out emails and communications like, how are you doing it? Make sure you're doing it this way, just because of me and Haroon. So we are clearly the biggest shit starters in the entire
just
I like that.
There were revenue managers across the country that were cursing me out that day.
Yeah, that's true. I was on a call with all the country revenue managers, and they were like, "We just lost so much revenue to the Star. Who the hell did this? Who is this Haroon guy? Where is he even from?" And I'm just there like,
you offered him up, didn't you?
I'm like, hold on, let me call him down to my office. You guys can have a real good time with him. Oh man!
Oh my god!
So
I was waiting for you to tell us that you spilled your
like a
food on the.
disagreement.
It really was. It was just a simple disagreement between two nobodies on a phone, and just because we're both hard-headed assholes,
Right?
We basically were like, "You're not going to win." And I'm like, "You're not going to win." So we're going to just kick this up the ladder, and it changed the way the entire company had to do their reporting.
Oh my god! The brain damage is still being felt. Well played, gentlemen. Well played.
And then, of course, Paul over there, not being our GM, not supporting us whatsoever, just sitting at his random table watching all this happen.
Yep.
Thanks for coming over and giving us some support. I really appreciate you, Paul.
I feel like maybe he was just helping Haroon's team over there secretly and screwing you there, Dave. You know?
I think he was
No, that
poking
wouldn't
the
be a
bear
first.
on both sides, Glenn. Going, come on, Haroon, you're right. You know that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
David, you know you're right. Come on.
That's exactly
Step
what
up
it
to the
was.
plate
Yeah,
and fight. Come on, David.
You know, that is actually probably what Paul was doing, honestly.
You know, Glenn and I'd be doing that. Come on.
I would believe that
Whoa.
1,000% that he
Sorry, we just had like a massive loud thunder clacks over here.
Really? I've been
Thunder
hearing it all
claps.
day.
Wow. Listen to you.
Yeah. It was either that or someone, you know, rolling a closet door shut. They're away in college right
Tell
now.
us what you're up to now. I know you got a lot of things under your belt. A lot of companies to screw with their
All right.
previous process.
When you said a lot of things under his belt, I'm like, this is not that kind of show, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah, you with a baby in your arm. Come on.
Well, I'm not in hotels anymore for the time being, but
Thank God.
working. Yeah, I'm still working with hospitality.
Did the
I'm still
IHG revenue department blackball you?
working- yeah,
They called all the revenue people around the country.
It wasn't the company we were working for at the time was not IHG. I make that very clear. It was not
Okay.
IHG.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
you're right. I remember where you were.
They do know me in New York, you know. So
Right.
I'm the black sheep on the island.
All those revenue directors of revenues are basically saying we never are hiring this guy for accounting. We blackball through every hotel. And anybody who calls me for a reference, if you see this Haroon Beg for a reference, you call me and I will tell you the truth about this man.
The only solace I have is that I can still work with independent hotels because they're not connected. So
There you go.
Now, Haroon, you know, I'm not the only one with 3 young children. You know, you've entered into that crazy world as well. How are you handling it?
I am. You know what? It's a little bit tougher because we have all the kids like really close to each other's age. One just started school this year.
Right.
We have our 3-month-old, and then we also have our middle child who is like I'm just gonna say she is the devil incarnate, but I love her to death.
Yeah, well, Haroon, being someone who's at the other end of it, you are in hell right now. And I totally get that you're in hell right now. But the silver lining is because they are so close in age, it will make a lot of your life planning easier. You won't have to worry about, you know, crazy different activities for huge different age gaps. And once the little one gets to be 4, you're going to be able to shower in peace and be left alone. It's going to be beautiful, dude. And it's going to get a lot easier because they'll all play with each other and leave you alone.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean,
Not
Paul
true.
is saying that I
Not
had a
true.
COVID baby.
It gets
I had
more
3 COVID
expensive.
babies.
It's more expensive every year. Wait for car insurance,
Oh
driver's license, you know, college, Glenn. Yeah, how are you doing with that?
Oh man.
Yeah, you're
And in Long Island?
You're so screwed. No, I live on Long Island. My kids live in luxury universities.
Oh well, there you go.
One of Glenn's kids, Haroon, legit goes to the most expensive college in the country. That's what we're looking forward to, my friend.
Yeah. I would recommend no college if you can figure out how to convince them to do that. At this point, it's going to be like $250,000 a year by the time your kids are that age.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell them I don't have the money.
Yeah.
Where's the crickets? No, that's not it. There we go.
We so actually I just kind of realized, because again, I was telling you guys before the show that, you know, Haroon and I, you know, we were 2 parts of a kind of this Beer Friday crew. Sorry, Paul, you weren't invited. That have to work every Friday. Actually, we have more stories to talk about Paul right now about Beer Friday.
Oh
But
yeah.
after work every Friday, we would go out to get some drinks at this local bar called Suspenders. It was me, Haroon, our director of housekeeping, Anka, and our director of F&B, Mike. And Paul would somehow always find a way at 4:45 to go to Haroon's office right when we're about to leave and go, hey, let's go a forecast review. Let's make sure over the weekend that we know exactly where our numbers stand. Or he would run over to Anka and be like, hey, let's look through the entire inventory of the hotel and make sure we're clear. And then Mike, poor Mike, because nobody cared about F&B since it was a small hotel, select serve hotel. He'd
He'd be waiting at the bar at 12
at the bar by 3 o'clock waiting for us. Just texting the lonely people. Yeah, that's probably because that's what we're always talking about you. And that's how we go and talk about.
Oh my God! So all of you guys are part of the 501 club?
No, it was 5:45 because of freaking Paul Lee.
So in essence, he knew what we were doing, and he was just trying to, thwart our plans. That was it.
That's exactly what it was the entire time.
Yeah.
Who wants to go to a full forecast at 4:50 on a Friday?
Oh God,
Paul
that's
Lee.
funny. That's funny.
But this is so now. Honestly, Greg and Glenn and Craig, since we don't have the Beer Friday Club anymore because we've all gone in our different ways, even though we stay in communication, you guys have kind of been adopted as my new Beer Friday crew. That's kind of warming to me.
Oh,
There we go.
That's sweet.
Oh, you guys are Beer Friday. Oh, that wasn't a joke. I meant that.
I know.
Also, he was invited. We would have left at 3.
Glenn never should have done that. I know.
That was hurtful. That was very.
He says
Yeah,
that
Glenn, that was
he would
hurtful,
expect
Glenn.
us to come in on Saturday.
What's that?
He would if he let us leave at 3:45. He would have expected us to come in on Saturday.
100%.
Is 7 a.m. too early, guys?
Yeah.
Those forecasts weren't going to review themselves.
That's right. That's right. They will not. Oh my God.
Now, Haroon. Given that we've only spent a few months working together, it was about 8 months working together. We have a long history together, though.
Oh, really?
We do. We've made a lot of history in a short
There was
amount
that time in a Turkish prison.
Yeah, there was that time in the Turkish prison. There was also the time that me and Haroon in Atlanta in my hotel room at 12:30 after, I probably shouldn't say this, several drinks, getting a budget revision sent to us that we had to perform and put together by 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, Craig, you can probably appreciate this more. You understand how budget seasons go. I mean, I know you do too, Glenn.
Yep.
But Haroon and I put the budget together.
Yeah.
Shipped it out before we had to go to Atlanta for a work trip. Got revision. Got the last revision requested, I think 11:30. So we're in my room at 12:30 doing this.
Yeah.
You know what we ended up putting it to? Literally the same thing as the first revision.
First one. Yeah.
The first pass.
Original draft.
The original draft. They were like, brilliant.
Exactly. You go back to the first draft because they'll have no idea. They've forgotten about that one already.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's true, but it's so true. We were like, was like, you know what? We don't know what else to do with this. We're just gonna put the first thing back and we're gonna see what happens. And it worked.
It worked.
That's really
We
fun.
may have been mid-level peons, but we knew how to work the system.
Yep.
I feel like you probably watched like Office Space a whole bunch to figure it out.
That's exactly what it was, because once we got back, we beat the shit out of a printer real good.
So we had interesting. Do you guys watch Futurama?
I did back
Occasionally.
when it was first on. Yeah.
You know the character Roberto, the robot Roberto, the stabbing one? He's voiced by the guy who plays Michael Bolton in Office Space. I found that out recently.
Oh.
I just found that out. Office Space, of course, being a tremendous movie.
Yeah. It's totally underrated.
Oh, it's sort of-
Wow, I didn't know that. That was interesting.
See, full of facts here.
This is
what
why
they-
people tune in every
Exactly.
single
It's a
week.
learning
I'm
experience.
gonna
on
have to
Friday
share
Night
this
Audit.
information on Monday when I go into work.
They see a half-energized Haroon. and they learn
Get
about-
ready for people to like start praising you and promote you. It's going to be insane.
Oh, you're gonna have to swim to work the way that it's going right now in the city. Still, unfortunately,
What was that? I missed that. What was that?
you're gonna have to swim into the city.
For sure. I cannot believe how crazy wet it is out there.
Is it still raining? It's good over here. Is it still raining over there?
I don't know. It's like very dark out there, and I can't really tell. And I got the headphones in, so I can't hear the rain either. So I'm not sure what's going on.
And
I think
Craig,
it's probably stopped.
give us that weather report in sunny Southern California.
It's sunny, Southern California, 82 degrees. Traffic's going
That's
12 miles an hour up the
Oh, it's a
I-5
fast
right
day.
now.
It's a fast
That's
day.
about
today.
it. Yeah, it's a fast day today. It is actually, Glenn, 70 degrees, overcast, partially cloudy, with a low of
Oh
63.
my!
And
Oh,
the speed is descending on the 405 to
oh
an
my God!
amazing 5 miles an hour.
Well, according to the latest weather here in Manhattan, it's expected to, it's cloudy right now, but rain is expected to pick up again at 9 p.m. this evening, going through into tomorrow up till about 3 p.m. That's going to be
Go Dodgers.
wet. Get your galoshes. Get ready for some damp.
What would you say has more traffic on a typical, forget the crazy weather, on a typical traffic type of day?
Yeah.
The 405 or the BQE?
Oh, PQE is freaking
I
horrible.
think they're pretty much neck and neck. Your traffic issues have gotten horrendous. I think, we used to lead that category, one of the few that we
guys,
beat New York in.
just don't take the bait, because with Dave, it is always the same. It's East Coast versus West Coast. It's Shake Shack versus
I know,
In-N-Out.
dude. Seriously, that's why he hates In-N-Out, because he's just anti-West
Yeah.
Coast.
That's not true at all, actually. I actually like the West Coast very much. I hate Long Island. So if you want to say I'm East Coast, West Coast, I hate the east side of Manhattan.
It is
the east side of New York City.
Yeah, I think he's going to Europe. Dude, good luck, bro. Yeah. Oh my God.
You're gonna see CJ on one of those like news videos.
Nice, Dickie.
He's gonna be sitting like this, paddling down the BQE, trying to find his way. Did you guys ever see that video of I gotta find it now.
While you're looking for that, I do want to say that it is the Chinese Full Moon Festival today, which is very exciting. I want to thank my friend Lynn for sharing that information with me and educating me on that. So I thought that was
very
pretty
nice.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
So you ever see this video? And I gotta take a second to find it, but it's a newscast, and it's a flood. Yes, found it. And
see how excited he gets? He loves producing.
Yes, destruction.
I love finding and making fun of people. It's okay. Listen, I can make fun of it for me. So it's a video where essentially it's a newscaster. It's in New Jersey. So I'll have to take the L on this one.
Yeah.
But
You're so gracious.
Yeah.
It's a report on a flood.
Oh my God! Look, that's Matt Lauer before everyone knew how
And I'm
horrible
going to
he
leave
was.
the sound off in case the YouTube police want to come get us. But,
Yeah, thank you for that.
basically, you have this reporter in Wayne, and you can see how she's reporting on the massive scale of the flood that's happening. So much
she's
so
in a canoe.
that she's in a canoe
Yeah.
live on air. Let's see what happens, guys. Let's see.
All right.
Oh, does she roll it? Does she roll the
Oh my
canoe?
God, I hope so. Oh,
Let's
she's
see how
canoeing
deep
right
this
now.
water is. Look how deep it is, guys.
All right, so for those of you listening, a couple of people walked by and it didn't even get to the top of their toes of their boots.
Oh my God. Oh, just ruined the whole visual on network television.
The camera guy was
Love
like,
it.
I got the greatest shot.
Yeah.
And then they walked right through it.
She had wheels under that canoe. She was just pushing herself. across.
Yeah, I think there's wheels under there. I think the crew set her up for that.
Oh, Lord. Now, Paul is a very big proponent of In-N-Out.
In-N-Out.
Which really should give you kind of an idea into his credibility and his line of judgment, which is essentially
unimpeachable is the word I would use.
it's terrible. And again, he was, of course, the leader of when we got the hotel shut down completely. Yeah, sure. Fine. A little thing called COVID was happening at the time, but you could do better, Paul.
I love how he orchestrated it to make it seem as if it was not his fault and got that whole thing going in cahoots with Haroon over there.
Ever pulled is in making everyone believe he didn't exist.
Yeah.
So COVID is all Haroon's fault.
Yeah,
it's mostly
the secret's out. The secret's out. But speaking of secrets, listen, guys. Dave is just constantly throwing everyone under the bus, and I have a little secret to share about Dave, just in case you guys did not know. Did you know
We should go to a one shot on Haroon at this point.
I'll take care of it. All right.
David,
Sorry, Dave.
See, I can produce.
Dave, I know, but sometimes you're feeding the baby, and I'm just trying to be helpful. But I'm sorry. Anyway, Haroon, take it away.
Yeah, here's a little secret about David Mignano, if you do not know.
I don't know what that is. It's not my name.
Mignano.
Dave was on a show broadcasted on MTV, and it was called, I believe it was called,
Great preparation, Haroon.
What was it called?
Way to come with the fire.
All right, give me a second. I'm gonna have to.
You were totally prepared for this segment.
Yeah, you're fucking nailing it, Haroon.
You really, you know, did the prep work.
Was he on Cribs
he did the
or
same
Jersey
prep work the
Shore?
freaking lady in
What
the
was
boat
it called?
did.
What was it called? My Teen Wedding, David?
No, not at all.
No.
My preteen wedding, you're going to jail, David.
That was Haroon. That was Haroon's wedding video. He did the same amount of prep work as the lady in the boat did before they rolled cam. So no, what Haroon is trying to refer to, and I think we've talked about on this show before, is my wife and I. If you don't know, my wife is Dominican. Obviously,
What?
a couple. Who knew, right? Crazy. What is something even crazier you didn't know? She speaks Spanish too.
Wow.
Oy, oy, oy.
So there was a show on MT, the Spanish version of MT3, that was essentially a show dedicated to interracial marriages and how the families come together to kind of mix and match the customs and cultures. And somebody in Annie's family knew the casting director. We were young, 20-something-year-olds. We had no money, so they offered us a couple $1,000s.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
And they took us to DR
Especially
for a
back
weekend.
then.
Mhm.
All paid trip to DR for the weekend. So we're like, all right, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, hell
And we
yeah.
did it. And it was pretty cool. And now everybody wants to see it. Haroon's been dying to find it. It no longer exists on the internet. It's one of the few things that was on the internet that is no longer there.
That's insane.
You can't find.
Consider yourself
I have
lucky,
several
Dave.
copies stored safely that you guys will never find.
Hey,
I was-
Dave, where'd you put him? I won't tell anyone.
I put him in an In-N-Out burger somewhere, so nobody's gonna actually go there.
I think they're at Anthony's house.
Along with the rest of the trash.
Yeah.
I think they're at Anthony's.
Dave, I was able to find Mike's stand-up bits, but I just couldn't find your dirt.
Think about that. Think about how awesome it is for me, how good I am at hiding my stuff. You found Mike Frey's stand-up shows from middle of nowhere, New York, versus me on a national network, and you can't find anything about it. What does that tell you about what I
hire
can do?
PI? That's what's gonna have to happen now.
What does that tell you about what the connections that I have, what I can make happen?
You're right, Suzanne. Big wow.
Wow,
He is
Dave is multitasking tonight. Awesome. Ironically, I put up that post.
Oh, here comes the other child. See, this is the thing about daddy daycare, Dave. You got kids coming left. You got kids coming right.
What?
Hey, Fox, how are you?
Hi, Craig.
How's it
Mr.
going?
Craig.
Okay.
Good.
How are you doing? Fox started kindergarten, so we are
Nice.
1 month into
nice.
kindergarten.
Good.
He's seemingly enjoying it. Haroon, this is what you have to look forward to.
It's my 70-day school.
It is not your 70th day of school yet.
Tomorrow is
It just feels like it.
Yeah.
It just feels like it, absolutely.
Because it's got to have been at least 3 weeks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10,
0.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
All right, go back
17.
upstairs.
Ma,
I'll give you skills when I come upstairs. And we're doing. See, now this is how you know I am a very, very strong daddy daycare, Dave, and how you out there
Giving
who
him
need your
Skittles
day-
after.
who need your
so we don't see
daycare
the sugar
needs.
bounce.
I am bribing my son with Skittles and
Yeah.
McDonald's to go away. That is prime parenting technique.
I don't know.
You're just gonna leave Annie to deal with. the
I'll tell
consequences.
you, totally different parenting styles between baby boomer parents and me as a Gen X parent. My mom used to say, if you're good, you'll get McDonald's as a reward. And
Yeah.
then for my kids, I'm like, if you fuck up, I'm taking you to McDonald's.
You've said that before. That's because
Yeah.
you are the king of the smoker. You do such amazing smoke jobs.
Yeah, I mean, my kids were like into sushi way too early. At Haroon, like my son Benny would eat pieces of eel at age 6, and it was like the proudest and saddest moment of my life because of how much each piece cost, and he was like 6. Like it's much more expensive.
Awesome. At least
chicken
you have a
nugget.
proper palate, you know.
Yeah, I force my kids to like eat anything and everything. I'm like, you can spit it out and stuff like that, but you have to try everything. And then they liked all the wrong stuff, all the stuff that's expensive.
Expensive, yeah.
Well, at this point,
That's
McDonald's
a
isn't
great
even good.
approach.
Isn't even cheap anymore. At least McDonald's was, you knew
Yeah.
what you were getting. It was cheap. It was fast. McDonald's is like $30 to feed my family now.
Yeah.
Nonsense. At least the
Yeah,
fries are-
it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, just look today on Fridays. I like to get the sushi lunch special, and it's like $12.50 or something like that for 3 rolls. You go to McDonald's, you're going to be paying around that for whatever you're going to get anyway, whatever combo meal and stuff you get. So it's kind of crazy.
I grabbed it from McDonald's. Yeah, I went to work overnight last night. We talked about it. I went to grab some McDonald's on the way in just to have some food.
Yeah.
And it was like $13 for my meal. I'm like, this is not a value. I can go in this city and get a really good meal for the same exact price that's fresh and much bigger and much better quality.
Yeah.
But
All right,
that's
hold
what
on.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Comment.
Twice that.
Yeah. So Daniel says he's having a really bad day today, G. I feel so sad for you. I'm sorry you're having a bad day. We're all kind of pooped. It's such a weird day today. If there's anything we could do, maybe we could send you out some positive vibes and get you through. So, we all got to kind of get
We're all
together.
here for you, Lord Daniel.
Bad days.
Just envision Glenn being floating away off Bayshore during the freaking tsunami that's come through.
No, that's your dream. I know that's his.
I was serious. When I texted you before, I was very concerned that your pool was ending up in your studio. That you were just gonna have a cool, it was gonna be the pool house, clubhouse, smokehouse, and the studio and water studio.
Oh, geez, he says 3 weddings today. 3.
Oh
How
my God.
How are you even here right now to
I don't
be
know what
able
Lord
to
Daniel
complain
does. What does
about
that
it?
mean? Like, what does he do that he has 3 weddings? What does that mean?
It's a hotelier.
No, I know. Oh, just has 3 weddings at the hotel.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna say like I'm doing 3 weddings, like he was officiating.
No. He's trying to break the record for single day polygamy. He's got a Guinness guy right next to him.
There you go.
That's
Well, I think I think we're expecting a big price hike on fast food in California because I believe the governor signed off on a minimum wage of $20 per hour in the state of California.
Correct. I believe you're right about
Well, let's find out. California governor, minimum wage. Craig, I never really talked to you about this. Well, I've looked this up. What did you think, since you are, a California guy for a long time, about the governor when he was in power?
Yeah, Craig. You can watch it on Netflix right now. You can see my 3rd chapter, American. Right?
Yeah, there we go.
So what do you think?
He created a lot of future problems with his deals with the unions and in particular with the prison guards. Our prison guards are paid more than $40 an hour. And this is also part of the thing why some of these unions are trying to disassemble Proposition 13 on the real estate taxes because they're looking at it as their windfall to fund all their retirements.
Right.
And never mind that it'll tax my ass out of my house.
Right.
But he did an incredibly average job. Did he get things done? Yes. Were they the right things? Not always. Gavin Newsom has got his own set of problems, budgetary and spends.
He's got to get that figured out because he wants to be president. So
Yep. So he better figure that out and better get things squared away before he is out of office.
Another thing we got to get squared away is Suzanne says Dave's going to have to change a poopy diaper soon, so at least your day won't be that shitty.
Hey, we can have the poop camera.
Well, before
Poop
we went
cam.
on air, we were having a massive poop chat. And Dave's like, we haven't gotten to solids yet, so we don't have horrible shit yet. So that's coming.
Yeah, the smell's not bad yet. We got about another 2 weeks before he gets his really solid food. That was not going to be a good time for anybody.
Carol Freed Krugly says, hey, he says not. When politicians say they're not, that means they are, in my opinion.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true. So Haroon, talking about taxes and we've talked about your taxes out on the island. Are you getting close to being taxed out of your house yet? What is happening in your area of the sandcastle?
No, I think right now we're okay. I mean, Long Island has always been taxed up the ass, so it's pretty normal out here. But we're not seeing any hikes, thank God.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, that was actually
Yes.
the baby.
There you go.
The baby. Now, speaking of California, I know this was in Vegas, but we're talking about East Coast, West Coast, and there was obviously a very big hip hop beef that during our younger years.
We going to Tupac?
Yeah.
And during your adult years already, Glenn Craig, was happening.
Oh, why are you talking to your baby in the middle of the show?
That was Glenn's young adult years.
So Glenn Craig, in 1996,
Yes.
everybody knows that Tupac Shakur was shot and killed, unfortunately, and that murder has remained unsolved for a very, very long time. Until today,
I saw the headline and probably forgot about it. So who's the suspect?
They have made a charge. Someone named Dwayne Keith D. Davis was arrested by Vegas police early Friday morning, 27 years after the crime was committed. He was taken into custody and charged with murder, use of a deadly weapon with gang enhancement. So they are charging this person with murder with the intent to prosecute and officially solve the case.
Wow.
I don't know. I haven't read the whole article. I don't know how it was done, what changed, what new factors or new information came out that has happened. But do you guys think that this is, Arun, is this a big closure to our childhood now that this case is being potentially closed?
I thought this was already taken care of. I couldn't even tell you about this. This is just coming out of left field. Nobody was expecting this today. On Friday, September 29th.
Yep.
Do you think Tupac is still alive? This is all part of this conspiracy.
I think he's hiding with Elvis. They're somewhere in the Catskills.
Thank you very much.
That's wrong.
I think maybe they're still at the Concord. Maybe the Concord still exists too, Glenn, and they're just hanging out up there.
Maybe.
Resorts World is just a big front for the underground Concord with Tupac and Elvis and any other celebrity conspiracy theory there is out there.
I like
Jim
that.
Morrison's there, a few other people.
In 1992,
Hendrix.
I was 5 years old.
Congratulations.
Oh man, this is
1992. My son was turning 11.
And now here we are all together, watching a 6-month-old fight to eat a bottle because he's hungry, but he just wants to be difficult.
I'm just glad you're not trying to eat that bottle too. So
it's very similar to Glenn, hungry and difficult.
Yeah, I can't even argue with that. You're totally on point.
It's on point,
Yeah, I made myself usually on Fridays I have a no cooking rule around here, Haroon, but we went out to a great restaurant last night, a good local place, and I had takeout the night before because I was getting back from a trip, so I'm like, we got to cook. So I made red beans and rice Cajun style this afternoon, so I'm very excited to dig into that after this show. So awesome.
Wow. I think you should do a cooking segment and set up the camera in your kitchen.
Yeah,
I know. I really got to.
Did we do a cooking show once with somebody? We did. Somebody cooked on the show. Who was it?
Your friend from Chicago. I can't believe
Stephanie and Pegattini.
Yes, that's right, Stephanie.
And
Pegattini. Yeah, Pegattini.
That's
Stephanie
right.
Pegattini. Yes.
Yeah.
They made risotto, I think. Yes.
Yep.
They did.
See,
That's right.
There's precedent for it. It's been done. We can make
I know. I got to do it. And listen, I was going to do it this summer, but the weather.
you weren't
every
home.
Friday I was home was effed,
Awful.
except for like one or two that I did in the backyard early in the season.
Yeah.
Or I was gone, and it just didn't work out. And I don't know. I've been trying to figure.
our jump in the pool this year, Glenn.
I didn't do anything because the weather was crap this year.
Matt jumped in his pool before you did.
Yeah,
David, run that video. We're almost out of time.
No, now we have a little more minutes, but I also don't have it up. So give me a second.
I knew he didn't have it up.
Yeah, we are almost out of time.
I completely
over
forgot
here.
about it, but it's okay, guys, because it does not take me long
Well,
Yeah.
Glenn,
to get
lots
things
of
back in shape. Because of course we're talking about California. Of course we're talking about solved murders. Of course we're talking about taxes. What is more important to the state of California than the progress of the Houseman, Pool House, Clubhouse,
Oh God,
Smokehouse,
another one of
Resort,
these videos.
and Dispensary 2.0 right there on the water, where he is going to find himself taxed out of his mind as well. Here we go.
Well, Glenn, lots of action at your house today. Workers are everywhere.
Look at that.
The truck there was a crane earlier. Kind of thinking that you're putting on either a jacuzzi on the roof. Oh, there's Mackay pulling me.
Hey, Mackay.
Anyway, hey, look at that. Look at the color. So did you add a jacuzzi to the rooftop?
No, I am not adding a jacuzzi. I'm using an off-brand
Kitchen
item.
Or
Which
an
is-
full outdoor kitchen. It was one
Yeah.
of the two going hoisted up there.
So, all jokes aside, what do you guys think that house is costing to build overall?
We worked that out, and just low estimation of $12 million for the acquisition of the dirt. And spending $1,000 a square foot plus the dredging and improving the dock and everything else. I had it up to about $30 million. Now that's a low estimation. Okay. Low estimation.
Now,
It
obviously,
doesn't include any of the architectural fees or design fees, permits, any of that. So, yeah, I've got it at $30 million so far.
now whoever comes in there obviously is loaded. Do you think that they finance this project, or are they doing a cash?
Well, they
deal?
got to be.
That's
They
him.
got to be
That's
drunk
him.
if they're going to
He's the
spend
one
that
that's
kind of
loaded.
money.
He's the one that's loaded.
I
Well,
was
are they-
until
are
I was
they,
until Franklin and Marshall and Brandeis introduced themselves to me.
Are they franchise? Are they financing it out, Craig? You think, or is that a cash deal?
No, there's a construction loan on it. So
But
once they complete that, then they'll pay that off and put on permanent financing.
Now, last question. New York City, right? We have a lot of expensive real estate, right? It's not on the water like that typically. It's
Yeah, and according to some people, really expensive real estate.
depending on which source you're looking at.
Yeah.
Usually, our stuff is really high in the sky versus on the water, right? In Manhattan, at least. A lot of times, people that buy these millions and millions and millions of dollar penthouses, they use them maybe 3 weeks out of the year, if that. So, is this house going to be a 1 month a year home, or is this going to be their permanent home? Do you think?
I think it's going to be somebody's permanent home soon as Glenn moves out here. I think that his wife says, "Okay, that's it. I'll stay on the East Coast. You go to the West Coast. Boom, done." But no, I think it will be a permanent home. It looks like they're setting it up that way.
Yep.
That's just too much money for it to be a part-time residence. Waterfront homes are very expensive because the maintenance never ends. Okay. You have to paint every year, and you should, especially where I'm at, you should be using like a marine paint for everything. And it just never ends. But I'm not mowing lawns, I'm not cleaning pools because I don't have either. And I'll never mow a lawn again or hire somebody to because I don't have any grass. But there's a boat there, there's a dock there, and all that. So yes, I believe you do.
Have you guys figured out who actually is owning the home at this point?
It was Glenn with 2 N's, Weisselberg. But I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure.
Now, Nikki is saying, "Are we prepared for Taylor Sunday?"
Yeah. What is Taylor Sunday?
What is
I don't know what
Taylor
that is.
Swift.
But
No,
is she-
obviously, but it feels like it's more than. Is she
is
coming to
playing
your neck of the
SoFi?
woods,
Like,
Craig?
why are we asking this question? Because she was already in Jersey.
I think
Yeah.
she's going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs game.
Yeah, I feel like this whole was it Kelsey thing
Yeah.
is taking
Oh,
off.
who cares? God, that's
Woo!
the news cycle right now is Travis Kelce
Yeah.
and Taylor Swift. while I check in. So I'm out of here. Attaboy, Daniel.
Go
Yeah.
get him, Daniel.
God bless
Way to
you,
get
man.
to the
Good
top-
luck
way
with
to
this.
get to the top part and run away. That's
Yeah.
that's a true hotelier at heart.
I
That's
love it.
exactly that's a Haroon move right there. That is 100% a Haroon move right there. Get right to that bad part and just ghost into the
Yep.
bushes like that.
You
Yeah.
go just sneak out the back.
Hey, it's almost 5:01.
It's actually for you. It's only almost 3:01.
Mm-hmm.
Carol says, yeah, she's talking about football. The fact that the media and the sports world too could care about this as much as they do, either it talks about the lack of any interesting topics for our society, or
That's why Glenn and I feel left out. We don't care.
that's really it. Actually, there's no other reason. I don't understand why anybody would care. Sure, it's a cool story, but who the hell cares that it's on the 24-hour sports news cycle? Like, what are we doing here, guys? Is that what we've come to? Is that what we've become in a media? From a broadcast journalism failure at heart, like me, I am revolted.
Well,
I'm
you know,
revolted by
can-
you as well, Dave.
Yeah, we're all revolted by you. But, you know, David, you could blame TMZ. As soon as they launched their sports network, it all became fair game. And now not only do we get to see actors, musicians, and
TMZ has
writers.
a sports.
they have a sports channel, yeah.
This
And
is
they're doing the same thing that they do on their Hollywood show.
Right.
I've never understood why, like, any like paparazzi
Gossip.
right?
Gossip, I
jobs.
say.
I've never understood why drag rags exist. Why I can't care about someone that I don't know. That
I don't care even
Right.
about people I do know. I'm too consumed with having to like deal with my life. I don't.
Well, that too.
Oh my God! So and so was seen with who coming out of that restaurant? Oh!
Like, who cares?
Well,
Like,
typically when that happens and you and I are walking out of that restaurant, Glenn, somebody's calling the police. There's an ordinance that we're
Yeah,
not
but
allowed
that's
to
a
say
valid reason.
restaurant. Yeah.
now, Haroon, what do you got on the agenda today for this rain-soaked weekend with your 3 kids? How are you going to keep them sane inside the house?
Shoots and
Oh,
ladders.
it's not about keeping them sane. It's about keeping myself sane. Yeah.
Or medicated.
Yeah. There you go. So just like what my subtitle said.
Ah, happy
Yeah.
dad hard seltzer.
Love it. Love it.
There you go.
This is one of the benefits of working in a 24-hour industry 7 days a week. I could just go to work if I have to go to. Oh, sorry, got to go to work. It's an emergency. Annie, you deal with all this nonsense. Bye.
Yeah, that ain't
Take a
gonna
nice
go.
leisurely drive to Manhattan, swim around the FDR for a little bit, come back home.
Yep, love it. Hey, Dave, I think it's time. You want me to do it, or you can
Time
do
for
it?
what?
Oh, this baby. All right, it's a political palooza. Y'all went through the last 57 and a half minutes of whatever that was, and now you've earned the rewards of hearing us shill our shameless plugs. Haroon, you got any shameless plugs today for us?
I don't, but just want to call out my beautiful wife who's taking care of the kids and giving me the time to spend with the afternoon with you guys. So,
Oh,
That was sweet.
yeah.
I mean, I
Thank
feel
you,
very
Mrs.
Someone's in trouble.
I feel very shameful for bringing.
yeah,
this
I'm
onto
gonna
our
deal with the
airwaves.
wrath once I go downstairs.
So my shameless plug today, guys, is really more like a PSA. Okay,
Mhm.
it's very important that people out there listen to this and take heed of my warning. The reason that there is a saying, a very important saying, and a very true saying of "don't touch the money," is because you should never touch the money before you have the money. What does that mean, you may ask? What that means is don't
COVID's
assume you
coming.
have something in your hand prior to actually having it in your hand, because you never know when it can be taken away from you. Don't spend that bonus check before you actually have it deposited into your account, because your accounting person may cause a global pandemic that takes the entire thing away from you, and then
Right.
you have nothing.
Listen,
nothing I
right,
said.
absolutely.
As a follow-up, if anybody wants to call me because they're having a little bit of trouble at work, I know how to cause pandemics. So just give me a ring, you know.
And also, guys, my last shameless plug is also a PSA. Day of cancellations is no show.
Take it up the ranks.
They're above
Craig?
us.
Well, if Haroon's going to start pandemics again, we do have you protected with our Friday night audit cone of protection, $100, and it's autographed by all three of us. You can order as many as you want. So, hey, producer Danny and I are back in the studio in 2 weeks. So, the summer's over officially. We're coming back with season 9 of Click Connect. We've got some special episodes coming up, talking about the attack on Proposition 13 in California for one. And then we've got a labor panel coming on with a bunch of industry leaders, and we'll be talking about that. So everything's good there. And March 6th and 7th, 2024.
Is something
Click
happening?
7. Click 7.
Yeah.
Glenn Hausman. David on the stage.
What?
We're going to have fun. Yeah.
Wow.
Great day. We've got new sponsors, returning sponsors, founding sponsors, great attendees. You want to learn about the California hotel market, or if you're in it already and you want to get some great information, this is the event to come to. We've got Bruce Ford doing our opening keynote, and then we've got a special message from our friends at the American Hotel and Lodging Association as to what's going on legislatively. So lots of information.
This is insanity, Craig. That's pretty awesome.
It is.
Now,
All right.
before you go,
And if you go to Glenn's website in about a week, he'll have an ad up.
News.
And
Like
Glenn's got a special discount code of Glenn7.
As you
25%
were
off.
talking, I sent myself an email. Send Craig the ad dimensions. That's I've been meaning to do that for 24 hours now. What
are the chances, Craig, that we can get the owner and developer of Houseman 2.0 to get to Click 7?
He's got to be there. He is doing our raffle and he's moderating a panel. So yeah.
Well, there you go. And hey,
we'll have pictures of the house up, for sure. No problem.
I'll be attending the G6 meeting next week. I hope to see you all there. And for all of you flaming me on the internet right now for putting up the video at Chip Rogers and AHLA talking about the New Jersey legislation, do not worry. I'm going to be getting myself with some of the folks from AHOA next week to hear the AHOA point of view on that. And I'm going to be talking to some owners as well. So everybody, I'm looking forward to being able to do that. Then on October 4th, I'm doing a panel for hotel business hot topics with the good folks over at Red Roof, and our friend Bruce Ford will be there to talk about the industry as well on October 12th. I'm going to be hosting at 2 p.m. an incredible session with M3 and SID. That's going to be a great session over there. And come see me on Tuesday, October 10th. I'm going to be at the brand new Spark Hotel in Mystic, Connecticut. Hilton's entry into the economy segment. I'm going to get a little peek as that opens up and attend that.
Nice.
Thank you.
Hey, did we get to ride down on your private jet to the Bahamas with you?
Oh, man. My private jet, which is owned by Delta and carries another 175 people. I'll be on that one Monday morning at 9. Come join me on my my flight. So that'll be
Hey, Craig, I think Click 8 should be at Glenn's new house in Cali. What do you think?
Well, that's where the after party will be.
We're taking the boat. We're taking the yacht with the new dredging.
Hey, the boat's sitting out there. I think I'm going to fire it up tomorrow.
I'm already on a boat. I'll just bring it around the
bring it to the Panama Canal and take it right up the west side.
That's right. No problem. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next week. Oh, next week I'm going to be at the Margaritaville in Nassau, Bahamas. That's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll be in a good mood and making fun of you guys because you're not going to be in the Bahamas.
No, but we could be at your house here, though.
Yeah, that's true, but it's still under construction.
We could be, breaking in that new kitchen up on the rooftop.
All right, I'll be jealous.
Going down Fifth Ave.
All right. See y'all next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.